Hey everybody. Good evening. Jared and Marquita. Conversations with Jared and Marquita tonight at 8 o'clock. Hi. So of course it's Tuesday. We're just getting in from track meet with the kids. So we gotta kind of roll something together real quick so that they can eat and get in the bed.
What's good, everybody?
And at the same time, fulfill our duty.
Right.
How was everybody's Tuesday? I hope well. For many, it's Taco Tuesday. For some, it's just Tuesday. It's been a crazy week. We're just talking, letting you guys chime in. It's been a crazy week thus far, at least for me. But it's a good week. I'm not going to complain. Jordan, how's your day going? How's your week so far?
You just trying to talk, man?
Yeah, some people got to chime in.
Let them chime in.
Just be quiet.
Starting conversation.
Just say hey.
Hello.
Talk to the people now.
I'm trying to get in on here, baby.
Hey, everybody. Let's chime in. Just quick spaghetti together. What we got? If y'all can hear us and see us, let me know. Hear us? Okay, I heard some sound.
Okay. So today we're talking about what are we talking about, sweetie?
Is space good for
Oh, when you're going through a difficult season in your marriage or in your relationship at all, whether you're married or not, is having space, separation, giving one another a moment apart. Is that a good
idea?
good idea? Is that a good fix?
To make,
Is that a good move to make, or is that or is it not? What's up, Patricia? So that's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. Is having space in your relationship or giving each other space. Is that a good move to make or not? To Keisha, what's up?
Hey, Kiki.
All right. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Again, if you're just chiming in, what we're talking about tonight is in your relationship when you're having going through a rough patch, bad season, is giving each other space, is separating for a moment. Is that a good thing to do? That's what we're talking about. All right. So we're gonna give.
Bad season. What's a bad rough patch? Because it varies for different people. Some people just, they can say, I'm just used to being by myself. I'm my own child, or I always had my own space, and you're in my space, and then I'm uncomfortable. Some people do that to use that as an excuse, I should say, to create space between them and their companion. And then again, you got some people who feel like their chemistry is off. It was good, but now it's off, and maybe we need to just take a break and then come back to it. But then a lot of stuff happened in that break because while you're supposed to you taking a break from that person, trying to gather yourself, so to speak, something else or someone else catches your eye,
So,
and that's just a bad thing.
so Patricia says no. So
Okay.
are you saying no too?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It depends on the couples, the level of maturity, their character. It depends on the situation. In my opinion, I just don't
Yeah, but
know.
that doesn't help though. I mean, because everything depends on something.
That's true.
So I mean, is it ever a good idea to um put space in between the two of you when you're in a relationship? Now, to me, I think it does depend on whether you're dating or whether you're married. Because if you're married, then those are levels.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll share my opinion in a moment, but I just want to hear what you guys have to say. Is it ever good to create space in between the two persons. Kodak, what up, Kodak? All right, who else is chiming in? Okay, that's Kodak. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Um, well, I mean, I can just go ahead and chime in. People are getting in kind of slow, I'll just go ahead and chime in. So it's my opinion that you what?
That dish towel.
All right, so as you can see, we are cooking, trying to make sure we get these kids fed before their bedtime. So we are multitasking because Tuesday night has become their sports night, whether it's track meet, soccer, cheerleading. It keeps happening on Tuesday nights. So we get home later than normal. So anyway, we're multitasking.
And we cooked, but everybody ate it all
Yeah.
last night, so.
This is real family stuff, right? This is real family. This is happening real. Um, all right, so here's my thought on should a couple create space between the two of them when they're in a bad situation. What's up, Marcella? I think it's always a bad idea. That's my direct opinion. I think creating space between the two of you because you're having a situation or separating for a moment, I think it's always a bad idea. Hold on, let me. Somebody said something.
Yeah, Keisha says, I agree. If married, breaks are no. If dating, it may be okay to take a break or give some space to get space.
So in that, I think let's go with dating first.
Okay.
If you are dating and you decide, hey, we need some space between one another, um, well, I won't separate them. Dating and marriage in a relationship, period.
Okay.
If you decide, hey, we need some space between each other, to me, that is an indication that you're not at a mature level to talk.
Yes.
And you may say, well, I'm trying to talk, but I can't seem to talk. Well, whatever the case may be, the relationship is not at a level of maturity that you both can have um, conversation, mature conversation.
I also think with that, it may not be that we're at a level to talk. It may be somebody scared to say this is not working.
That's true. All right, so Joe, what's up, Joe? Crystal, Jessica, what's up, y'all? So Joe says define space. Define space means separation. Separation. That doesn't mean we're in the same house and we're not talking for a couple of days.
Right.
That's not space.
No.
That's silence.
Right.
Space means you're at one spot, I'm at one spot. In a marriage, we're separated. Even though you say we're not getting divorced, we're just going through separation. That's what I mean space. If you're dating, same thing. Wherein you decide that you have cut this person out of your life for a period of time.
Right.
In essence, I guess that's a better definition for both of them. That you've decided to cut this person out of your life for a period of time. And that's physically cut them out of your life.
Right.
That's communicatively cut them out of your life for a period of time. You can't mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually, you can't do that because they're still connected. But to physically and communicatively cut them out of your life for a period of time, that is what we're defining as space. All right, so Patricia says, married or not, I don't think space is good because anything can happen. You taking space from your mate but playing with someone else. No. All right. Okay, I mean, I get that. I hear both of y'all saying that, and I get that. Well, see, that's the danger of creating space, because a person can wonder. I say I get that because I get that with a little shade to that because if you're committed to this person, then all of a sudden we are having spaces separated and you get a whole nother person or your eye is now wondering and you decide to take time up with the person,
Right. Test the waters.
then you probably were going to do that if we didn't have space.
Right. Regardless.
In my opinion.
Regardless. Joe says space is a bad idea, but it might be needed.
Space is a bad idea. Babe, what you want me to do? I want them to sit here looking like like I don't.
You handling it.
Yeah, okay. Because I takes care. All right. So Joe says space is a bad idea, but it might be needed. So if Are we breaking up?
What are some
Wait. So it might be needed. Why would it be needed? If it's a bad idea, then why would it be needed?
That's what I was gonna ask. What's the reasons why it might be
Yeah. Because when you separate, you are putting. That means you're continuing to go day in day without addressing whatever needs to be addressed, or without talking through it, working through it, or without making a decision. Whether the decision is to be gone with one another, done with one another, or making a decision to work on it.
needed? Right.
Dormant time kills things.
Dormant time.
Dormant time kills things.
Oh
If
yeah.
you leave a
Heal.
plant dormant, it will kill it.
Yeah.
If you leave a dog dormant, you don't feed it, it'll kill it. If you leave a house dormant and you don't touch it or anything, it'll kill that house. That house will become raggedy after a while because dormant time kills things.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right, Kodak said, but what I mean is not space. Space to where he or she leaves the house while being mad, just enough space to calm down. Because a couple, I believe, no one should leave the house or even have a safe word to when the word is said, each person back off. All right, that's okay. So that's something to address as far as it relates to having you're upset and you need to calm down. I'm going to talk about that. All right, but I can help you out with that. If you're upset and you need to calm down, you do need to decide
Take a pause.
to take a pause and whatever works for you. Marquita and I, we don't do this now, but Marquita now and I, when we were in our first years of our marriage, we had decided, and this is what I suggest that everybody does. We had decided, if you need it, if you're not mature enough to have that conversation, we decided that for me, if I get to the point to where I'm upset and I need to leave. I need to leave the house, and I had a space that I would go to. It was an identified space. Marquita knew where that space was, and I had a limit of time as to how long I was going to be there. So she knew if I was leaving the house when we met, I'm going to my spot, and I would go to that spot. I would stay for 30 minutes, and I would come back. And while at that spot, there were rules. While at that spot, I was not to engage or talk to anybody. Um, just me being able to get my mind together, calm myself down, or whatever, before I go back home. Now that was so it was okay to leave the area where the tension is.
Right, and we talked about that, and we came up with those plans because, I mean, for one, we didn't want to involve people in every little spat that we were having because it's like, okay, number one, y'all always having issues. What's the issue? That's what it would seem like to others. And then for two, you need to clear your head because you just cannot vent or share with everybody because everybody is not equipped to pretty much guide you or give you sound advice. So we're like, this is what we need to do. You need to hear from God or whoever. You need to just clear your mind. Don't talk to anybody. Calm down and regroup. So when you come back to the ring, we can actually talk.
Right, because the reason why you don't talk to anybody, like if you go to the basketball court, well then you go by yourself because people will try and give you advice. Oh man, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Or if I were you, I wouldn't take that. Man, you need to go tell her this, or hey, you need to go tell him that. You shouldn't do this, do that. And now your heads are everywhere, and then they probably maybe just putting stuff in your head. Get by yourself, pray, count to 20, do your affirmations, whatever it is that you do to calm down and get yourself back to center. Do that. Then go back to talking to your person. So
and when you come back, when you clear, don't think about everything. It's good to know when you go and have your space.
Arthur Brown is on.
When you go and
The
have your
Deek
space,
is on.
you have to go and don't rehearse what I think she said this or I can't believe he said this. Because that's pretty much gonna put you back in the ring. You're gonna be going in circles.
Back in the ring. That's
Because
good.
you're gonna be like, you know what? I need to address this. So, because he said that or she said this, I want to address this. I want to address this. Go to your separate spaces, your separate corners, regroup, and let's come back and let's try this again. Now that we're not talking at each other, because we see that's not getting it.
Right, but that's not the topic of discussion.
Right.
The topic, hey Terry, the topic of discussion is having separation a good idea
Right.
in your relationship at any time. It
That's
is my position that separating, take a ride on the beach, sightseeing. Yep, that's good. So
what kind of sight, Uncle?
there's good sights on the beach. I'm just saying. Um, what was I saying? Oh, separation. Separation. It just don't work to me. It creates more problems. It creates
I think anxiety creeps in.
anxiety. It creates insecurity. Because what are you doing? You know who you're with. Yeah. Uh, you know, are you ever coming back? And what did you do while you were gone? You know, I mean, who did you go to see? All this stuff creates insecurities. It creates resentment because how is it that you can leave, but I couldn't leave? You know what I mean? And right now that you left and you decided you needed some space and you separated from me, can I go do the same thing? So then it creates resentment. What you were able to do that, but I wasn't able to do that. So separation just creates more problems than the problem that you're actually dealing with. If we're dealing with distrust, we're dealing with a bad argument, you separate, now you're gonna add 19 more problems onto whatever the initial problem was that you could have been able to calm down enough to talk about. What's up?
Now, um, and I agree. I also would agree.
You putting that in there?
Yeah. Well,
where you putting this?
Put that over there. Chill out.
Huh?
I need to take that off there so I can chill for a minute.
You want to put in a bowl or something?
I gotta get a.
So where are we putting it? Here? Okay.
What was my take? I think sometimes, like in cases of abuse, I think that separation is a must. Because you got to remove yourself from that situation until that person grows and seeks help and gets help, and actually do the intentional work. Because number one, they're not going to change.
No.
So if you choose to stay with that person, you need to know that they are not going to change.
When you say abuse, are we talking only verbal, only physical, or verbal too?
Verbal and physical abuse. Because I feel verbal abuse can escalate to physical abuse. Because you won't be able.
But if you say abuse, then everybody may think, well, I'm being abused because he won't treat me right.
I mean,
I'm being abused because he cheated on me, or I'm being abused because
that goes with mindset.
Because she is manipulating me.
Right.
It's not, but if we help him.
That's why marriage and real relationships are not for the weak.
Yeah, but if we're going to help.
Every little thing is not abuse. I'm sorry. It's just that's your abuse.
But if we're going to help. You say abuse. I just want you to give some definition.
Not ultimately, but mainly physical abuse. But I would also suggest getting help for physical abuse because I feel that not physical, verbal abuse, but I think verbal abuse sometimes escalates to physical abuse.
All right. What's up, Cedric? Hey. So Cedric says we only need to separate when using the bathroom. Anybody got time for that? And Patricia agrees with that. She says, I'm with you, and even then I might be in there with you too. Okay. All right, so Joe says, well, we have separated before. And that's what I want to hear from those who've actually had this experience where you've separated before. He says, well, we have separated before, and it was well needed. I needed space to finish growing into the man I needed to become. It also gave us a chance to miss each other and appreciate having each other. Okay. All right. I'll say this though, baby, Marquita.
Really distractions.
That's the stuff from there.
Oh. Okay.
So Joe said that separating helped him become the man that he really needed to be.
Oh.
I get that. I do think being in the trenches, like to me, it's almost like now help me out with this joke. I'm not necessarily disagree, but I need help. Being on the track, running, your route. If you're in track and field, being on there, running your race, is what helps you become a better runner, right? Um, as a painter, sticking with painting and painting and painting and painting is what helps you become a better painter. So I need help with moving away from what helps you become a better man, helps you become a better man. Because I know for me, being married, being a father, and showing up to my responsibility as a husband, showing up to my responsibility as a father every day with those who I'm fathering and my wife who I'm a husband to is what helped me to become better. So that's what I want. So help me out. How can I become a better man
Stay in it.
if I move away from it?
Oh.
Because how can I become a better racer if I move away from the track and separate from it for a minute? How do I become a better painter if I stop painting and separate myself from it for a minute?
Well, with that example, I know a lot of like just like authors when they're writing a book, sometimes they get a block. They have to take a break and go actually get inspiration, and actually go get fed, actually go get poured into because they don't know everything. So they're quote unquote doing all I know to do, but sometimes they have to actually take a break and be on the outside looking in and try to figure out what is it that I'm doing wrong, what do I need to do, or what is it that I'm not getting, and actually go get filled and refilled and refueled to try to go at it again, but go at it now with different tools because now
All
I'm
right, well,
better
good.
equipped.
Well, if that's the case, then I think that's good. Thank you for helping me out with that. So if that's the case, then I think that if you were to say, hey, we need separation, then I think it depends on how we set this up.
Okay.
Because if we're going to do separation and you do what you just said to go get poured into and all that, then that should be the case. That hey, I'm separating because I need to go through um,
Therapy, counseling,
therapy, or I need to go through a time of being poured into. I'm going to a camp, for a certain amount of time. Opposed to we mad, I don't be with you no more,
and we
and
separated for
I'm
umpteen
separated,
years.
and not even just umpteen years. It may be a month, or maybe a week, or two, or maybe a couple months, and I don't know that you're getting help. I don't know that you went and got poured into. All I know is that we mad at one another, and we are separated. You know what I mean? So that's what I need help with to kind of help me out. How does that work? Like, is it that calculated? Look, I need to get some help. So I'm gonna go and do this. Look like I'm gonna have to be away for about a month. You know what I mean? I just think while I'm going through this, I need not to be here causing more damage.
That's a mature route.
But is that what most people do? Is it calculated like that, or is it that
No.
I'm out? We mad.
In my opinion, that's not what most people do. Most people peace out because they're upset or because they're hurt or because whatever selfish reason.
All right, Joe said absolutely. So is that absolutely to explain that for me? Is that absolutely to what? But because I may have missed it. I'm sorry.
He probably was responding to you.
Okay.
But I think yeah, most people do not take that calculated route. Most people, I'm pissed off. That's why I want separation. Most people are not calm, cool, and collected and say, "Let's talk." This,
Even if
this
you're
not
not
working.
calm, cool, and collected, but
Well, most people don't have a.
you're high emotion and still say, look, or somebody may say, give an ultimatum that hey, this is not working at the moment. You need to go get help, and until you have finished getting your help, we need to not be together. You can't be here.
And then see, I guess when emotions are high and things like that are said, um, it's not
Oh, okay, so
rising.
Joe said, nah, he was just out. So you were just out, and while you were out, you did what you needed to do to better yourself. Is that right, Joe? What'd you say, babe?
Some people don't have that conversation or have that mindset to when they're in the heat of everything, they just say, "I need to go. You need to go do this, do that," and they give ultimatums or they make declarations. You need to go do this, or this, or I'm going out and do this or whatever, and they don't. And then all of a sudden, then when they're calm, then it's back to baby, baby, baby. So it's like you just sit there in the heat of the moment. Why every time we get upset, divorce is the first thing you say, or separation is the first thing you say because you're saying that in the heat of the moment. You're not actually making a calculated decision. We're not actually having an actual talk and deciding, okay, this is what we need to do because we're just saying it in the heat of the moment. That defeats it.
Well, I mean, the only way that that's going to change is that we come to a conclusion: is divorce an option? And if it's not, then we need to never talk about that. And even when we heated and hot and mad, we need to be reminded that even though we heated and hot and we're mad, we still can be mature. Because you can be heated and hot and mad out in the street and you still make mature decisions.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to shoot nobody, or I'm not going to uh, run over somebody, whatever. When you hot, heated, and mad at the children's school, you still make a mature decision. Right. You don't go to jail. Right. So in being heated and hot and mad, in our emotions, in our heart relationships, we have needed to decide it before then: is divorce an option?
Correct. What's the deal breaker?
Yeah. All right. So Patricia said that's good. He did that, but some people don't do that. They use that time to play. See, he knew what he wanted, and he got right for himself and for her.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's all about your mindset because whatever your mindset is, that means those are it leads to the decisions and the choices that you make, whether they be wise or foolish. Right.
So that begs a question for me. How many of you all, and that's just, okay. So I guess if you're dating, let me go back. So I started to say, about the is divorce an option. That's only for marriage.
Yeah.
So for those who are dating, so how do we deal with that? Because I guess if we're dating, breaking up is an option.
Yeah, breaking up is an option.
Is a very viable option.
If you're dating and you believe this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, and then also there are some things that you actually like. I really need to know or see. Do I want to deal with this or contend with this for the rest of our lives? If we want to be together, then yeah, we need to take a break because I need to know: can I live without you?
Wait. Say that again, now. So this is dating.
Yeah, this is dating.
So dating. So you saying separation is good for those who date?
Yeah, before you get married. Mm-hmm.
To determine what now?
To determine whether or not if you and everything you come with is something that I want to continue with. Do I even like who I am with you? Because I'm gonna morph into another person, as time goes on. But when I'm with you, this is who I am. It's not you bring this out of me, but this is who I am when I'm with you. And we don't have to say I like who I am when I'm with you. I feel like you make me better. People say stuff like that. That's why I feel pretty much that separation or space is good. If you're just dating and you're dating somebody that you feel like you want to be with for the rest of your life, yet there are some things that you have to decide whether or not I want to continue with this or not for the rest of my life with this person. And I think there's some space needs to be taken so you can figure out what it is that you actually want for you as a person.
Okay. I think space either way is for dating or married. I think space is risky, more risky for marriage, but even risky for those who are dating. Because if I'm dating, I probably don't have the strongest commitment to you, exclusive commitment to you, because I'm dating you. I haven't decided to marry you, right? So if we separate, what I'm actually doing, I'm not only just saying if I can live without you, I'm also saying if is there somebody else I can live with.
Well, I think that's if you're not exclusively dating. If you just dating, freely dating. But if you're saying it's you and me actually trying to see if we can make this work, that's exclusive. But if you just casually dating,
But I'm not talking about, I mean, because even if you are exclusively dating,
okay.
If it's just me and you,
Sorry, my
but the fact that we're not married, I have made that commitment to you. I'm still deciding, is there somebody else better for me?
That's true, especially with the length of time. If we've been dating for a long time.
Even if we're dating for 3 months.
Most people don't think like that, though.
Yes, they do. If I'm dating you for 3 months and we decide we need to break up and spend some time apart, then I am immediately trying to determine, is there somebody else? Because maybe you're not the one.
Man?
And a woman. She's immediately saying, well, I don't know if this the one. In dating,
Okay.
if y'all been together for 6 years and y'all haven't married, they are both. If they'll say, hey, we need some separation, they are both saying maybe this is not the one.
Yeah, that's true. They are. I would agree. Yes, they probably
So separation is definitely opens back up the box or opens back up the option of there may be somebody else.
And if I
in
used to
dating.
be that, the maturity, you would say, okay, maybe I don't. If we're having this space, and I'm thinking, tell me what you're thinking. Maybe you're not the one, and we need to see if we are who we want. And it's almost like you giving each other the green light. Go date somebody else. But that's a lot of maturity.
But that's always. I'm telling you,
That's
that's always bad.
It is
To me.
always bad, especially if you
Hey, go
in
date
love.
somebody else. Well, we don't need one another. I gotta be dating somebody else.
No, it's like that's true. But then people, wait X amount of years and they circle back around and find each other again. That's gonna happen. So
What?
who knows? People when they do stuff like that, they go live their life and date and have children, get married, and then they circle back around and come back to old faithful.
What does that mean? I mean, I don't want that type of love.
You don't. Somebody do.
Well, because that meant they separated. Separated meaning they both met somebody else. They laid and played. They married. So all that is the aftermath of separation. So that speaks to my point. Separation is not the best option.
Okay. And then you got those that say you only live once.
What are you talking about? Where are you going with this?
So some people feel that way. I'm supposed to be with you. Let me make sure it's you I want to be with for the rest of my life. If they just dating.
But that conversation is in line with separation.
It is. I know. I'm just being telling the truth. That's the mindset of a lot of people.
All right. So Jill says both people.
What?
Both people should be total and complete, standing alone. Then come together to make each other better. That's just what we was both missing. The space gave us time to grow, to be complete by ourselves. We came back, and now it's the best it's ever been. All right, I'll leave that alone. Okay. Chantel says, I never agreed with separating, but it did help.
Hey, kids, how?
Who?
My kids, my friend.
All right, cool. Chantel says, I didn't agree with separating, but it did help.
This thing making hot. What you thinking? It's all over your face.
None. All right. Something you said I was going to address, Marquita, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, so we're talking about, if you just chime in, we're talking about, what's up, Tiffany? We're talking about separation. Is separation ever a good idea in a relationship? And if it is, why or when? And if it's not, why and why not separate? Space, dating or marriage? That's what we want to know. I think, again, it's not the ideal choice to me. Got it? Yeah, I think it's definitely not the ideal choice to me.
I don't think it's the ideal choice to make for the majority of people. I think they result to it.
All right. Tiffany says, what are you making?
Spaghetti.
People want to know, babe.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. That's it? That's all you want to say?
Spaghetti. That's all we're making.
With turkey?
Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
We're making spaghetti. Instead of using beef, we're using lean turkey meat. And cut up couple of
What
sausages.
kind of sausage? It's not regular
Smoked,
sausage.
smoked turkey sausage.
Is it Polish?
I think no. What is? Let me look at the paper, child. Smoked something. Smoked sausage.
What kind of sausage?
Hillshire Farm Gold beef.
It's not
Made with
beef. Oh,
yeah, it is.
pork,
It's made
turkey,
with
and beef.
pork, turkey, and beef.
All right, and we're
Hillshire
also
Farm.
using olive oil and garlic, tomato sauce, and the creamy vodka tomato sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We mix it. It like
All right. Jessica says, no. If I leave or you leave, I'm not coming back.
oh.
Really, Jessica? That's how we feel. Joe says it's not the idea of choice; it's the road less traveled to get to the correct destination. He says, "Hey, Miss Shirley, it's the road less traveled to get to the correct destination."
Separation is the road less traveled to get to the correct separation.
Destination.
Destination.
It is the well. It's the road less traveled.
Is she outside?
No, she upset. It's the road less traveled to get. It's actually the road most traveled,
Okay.
but they don't. Yeah, they just. I'm out. Nobody has the strength and the.
Nowadays, or I guess as
Let me
adults.
finish.
Oh, sorry.
Nobody has the strength and endurance to stick with it. So it's the road that most travel. But they do travel, Joe, that road of separation, but not for the destination of better. Most travel that road, and it's the road to just because they're weak and they don't want to endure, and they're out of there. So it's the road that most travel, but there's usually no destination to it.
I would say nowadays, I guess because we're adults now, we can kind of see and know
Yeah, they don't get
what's
to the right place.
happening nowadays about what things going on. I think that it is the road. I agree with you that it is the road most traveled. Especially now, a lot of people just don't want to stay in the fight or don't want to actually do intentional work
Let me bring this over
to
here.
make love and marriage
Work.
and relationships actually work.
All right, so
There's a lot of selfish and inconsiderate people and mindsets that are engaging in big wedding events and big shallow things that don't make a marriage. They don't make a relationship. But it was great because we had the event. Whatever the event was, a marriage, baby shower, or wedding, whatever. And there's no real commitment and no real consideration and understanding of what you are actually getting into. You are building a life with someone. That takes work. Go ahead, you want to say something?
no, I'm listening. I'm trying to learn too.
No, that's the truth. It's just you are building a life, a whole real life with someone. Everything that comes with it, that's what you're building on. And just to say, let's I want to get married one day, but in the meantime, let's put our money together. Some people do that still, or let's have a baby, or let's have this big wedding, and let's do all of that, and then within a year or two or three, it's irreconcilable differences because nobody's willing to compromise, give a little, take a little. Nobody actually went through premarital counseling sessions to actually
Prepare
figure out and prepare
for what was ahead.
For the
Because you
road
don't know what's
long
ahead if you've never been in it. So you need to have someone who has the tools to help you understand what's ahead. So let me read what's go
real
ahead.
quick. And then some people also, even if they did have the premarital sessions and things like that, they don't have examples, from their lineage. They don't have examples, or they don't know I can actually go talk to somebody, or they just don't want to because this is not about me. This is supposed to be about me, and I don't feel like it's about me anymore because I don't want to bend to whatever you want. I don't want to compromise, and that's just not. That's not how it works. That's not fair, and that's not right. That's not how it works.
Cedric is calling us alcoholics. I guess because we got the creamy vodka,
Damn.
tomato sauce.
Well, I be that.
All right. So Chantel says, but you can get to the correct destination with proper counseling. Yes, you can get to the correct destination with proper counseling. Separation is not the answer, but if it's the vehicle that gets you there, then fine. It's a very loosey goosey, dangerous, no brakes, no oil in the car, gas running out vehicle to get you to that destination. But with the proper counseling, you can salvage a separation. Uh, Kamisha Smith says, yes, the road less traveled is counseling and therapy. Yes, that's the road that's less traveled. Basically, what you're saying. That's the road that's less traveled. Counseling and therapy. The road most people travel is gossip, venting to somebody else, separation,
All of that.
and
It ain't supposed to be like this. This is how
run
it's
it.
supposed to be.
Yeah. All right. So Marcella says, I don't think it's a good thing to do while dating because in a committed relationship, you should be able to communicate your issues and work on things together. If you want a break, ain't no coming back. Okay.
Alright.
Joe says, but they don't get to the correct place. Yeah, sometimes they don't get to the correct place because that's not the best road to travel. I think Joe, you were an anomaly, and I think you're not just the exception. Although your situation is exceptional, but a lot of people unfortunately go that route anyway, and of course it helps. A lot of them were helped in some type of way, and they came back. And it can work, but it only works if you're personally growing and you're personally committed to it anyway. Before you decided to separate, you're personally committed to it anyway. Although you may have been mad at the moment, you may didn't like what was going on at the moment, but you were already personally committed to it. So, that brought you back.
It's a mindset, people.
All right, Tiffany says, I don't believe that it's the best thing to do. Communication is key to fixing all problems. If you leave out that door, don't come back. Got it. Kamisha says that saying anything worth having don't come easy. Yep. All right. Here's what I'm gonna ask y'all before I read the rest of these. I want to ask you guys what in your relationship or your marriage, what was the worst year? Like what was the hardest year for you? If you got some years in the game, what was the hardest year? And if you're dating, what was the hardest, I don't know, month? If you're dating short, if you've only been dating for a short period of time, what was the hardest year for you? I want to see if there's any type of, if we see a trend or a pattern. All right. So Tiffany says, I'm coming to counseling with my blanket and tissue boxes. I may have to stay overnight to gain all the knowledge I need to have a successful marriage. Yep. If you come to counseling with Marquita and I, you best better bring at least the tissue box. Uh, and listen, that don't just and that's not just for the women.
No.
That's for the men too, because wherever there is tweaking needed, whether it's you or them or you or both, we gonna tweak. We gonna tweak. All right. Terry says that's one of the reasons we waited because I felt that we needed to go through counseling with someone that would be real. These topics are helping me. I think that I don't want to say the traditional counseling are hurting couples if they are not giving. Wait a minute, if they are not giving this type of information. I mean, to be honest with you, Terry, not to toot our horn because they're far better counselors than we are, but I agree. The reason why we started counseling and doing this thing and being passionate about relationships is because we were not afforded um, real counseling to help us.
Right.
Even our premarital counseling, uh, we didn't get anything in that. You know what I mean? And then when we got into the marriage, it's like, man, you need some help,
Right.
and we were not ready for this. You know what I mean? So to go to the traditional counseling and they just kind of just help you talk, like a lot of counselors, they just let you talk and they kind of mediate what's happening in between.
Yeah.
And you have other counselors will allow you to get it out so you can vent to somebody and they will let you know that you're being heard. Well, I hear what you're saying. Do you hear what he's saying? And that's cool. That's cool. But I need a counselor to help me to figure out what the hell is wrong with me. What is happening with me? What is wrong with her? Not what am I doing to her, but what is happening to her? What is happening to me? Where did I get this from? What do you see in our relationship that is the cause that didn't happen in our relationship? That happened well before our relationship that's causing issues in our relationship. You know what I mean? That's the type of counseling I need because I don't need you to just help me be heard in the moment. I need you to help me fix the real problem. Do not put a band-aid on it by allowing us to be heard. I need for you to do an open heart surgery to tell me what is wrong. Like open me up. Tell me, hey, oh, you got a blockage here. You got a blockage there. You got a leak here. This thing here is withered, and it goes all the way down from your nerve to your foot. All the way. I need you to tell me everything. What is happening with me? So that's the type of counseling I need. All right. Yes, Terry, did make sense. All right. Jill says separation is not good. We just had mercy. We've been married 16 years. That's awesome, Jill. Patricia says, but you do learn a lot from a person by a break. Because if they trying and sticking in there to make it work, then you know they will stick it out with you in a marriage, not just leave.
That depends on the person, because some people just don't want to be alone.
Right.
So
Right.
they'll stay and do whatever in the moment.
Right.
To make sure you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So now people are answering about when what year was oh, he's talking about this right here.
Mm-hmm.
So Terry says the fourth year.
Okay.
Joe says years 1 through 6.
Joe, tell the truth, Joe.
Tell your truth, Joe. Shirley said the first 5 years. So
it be like that, I'm telling you.
Joe said the year 1 through 6. Miss Shirley said the first 5 years. Cedric says years 1 through 3. This not just a year. These are multiple years.
Yeah.
I was very passive and accepting, but bruh got sick and tired of the foolish trying to make someone happy when I was miserable. Foot, you know the story. Yes, I do know the story. Well, me and mine coming in Jacksonville. I'm in Lauderdale because he need to hear you guys. Oh, y'all coming to Jacksonville? All right. Chantel told Joe stop exaggerating. It wasn't years 1 through 6.
Chantel, that man tell you the truth. I'm just kidding. All right, Joe, don't be bad for my friend. Lie.
Yeah. Hey man, hey. All right now. So yeah, so what would you say for us? What were the hardest years for us?
Very painful.
What year are we in now?
This is year
15?
15. Yeah.
I would say the hardest years for us. No, go ahead. You answer.
I would say 1, 2.
Year.
When I had my children. 7, 8. Yeah.
But
Year. I don't know. 1, year 3, year 7. That 7-year itch year was hard too.
what itchy? What were you itching for?
That's what they call it. It's like the 7-year itch.
I ain't asked what they call it. I asked you what you itching for.
I gotta figure out what years those was. 2008, 2010.
Answer my question.
What year was that?
I don't know. What were you itching for?
2013.
What were you itching for?
To stay or to go. That was the itch.
The itch was what? Something different?
It was difficult.
What was the itch? You hear me?
I'm trying to figure out what other way you gonna ask me. Yeah, 1, 3. I think 1, 3, 7 was the hardest.
137.
Yeah, those were the hardest.
I haven't had hard years, just hard deployments. That's the thing. That's a thing for sure.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's a thing for sure. Terry says, I said the fourth year because we were being
Polite.
polite. No, we ain't gotta be polite.
Mm. You get tired and be like, bump that miss. I don't have time. That's true. That's true. That's true. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so once again, this is my take on it. Separation is not.
What was your hardest?
Huh?
Answer the people. What's your
Anybody
hardest?
ask me that?
I'm asking you. What were your hardest years in your marriage?
Um,
Stop trying to handle me, boy.
either I'm in control or you gonna control.
Oh,
Come on out. Come on out. Mama cooking.
oh.
Relax.
Good girl.
I don't know. I have to really sit down and calculate these late years. We had a whole lot of rough years.
What? Yeah.
Where some were good, in between the ones that were bad. Uh, all of my good days.
Are you taking a love song to me?
Uh, I'm talking to
You talking
God.
to the Lord?
Always my bad day. Ah. All right, what is it? Sharnique.
Hey, Shani.
What up, Sharnique? Mine was hard
After
after
year
year
10.
10, so we were, I guess, backwards.
Wow.
Marcella said, Jesse,
Right.
y'all saw her run down the steps?
She shows coming to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. So, so I would advise that before you separate, get some counseling. Which one? Before you separate, get some counseling. Because once again, I'll repeat this. This is my take on it. That separation exasperates whatever the problem is. Not only exasperates. What's up, James, Pastor? Not only does it exasperate the problem, but it adds 50 million more problems to it. That has nothing to do with what actually happened in the marriage. So I would say separation is not the ideal way to go. Carissa says, "Oh man, I missed it. You did. Hey, what's up, Carissa?
Hey. How's it?
Jade, Marcellus. So yeah, um, get some counseling
Please do.
and mature, grow. You know what I mean? Grow and decide you want peace in your relationship. We ain't doing this fussing and arguing and cheating and carrying on. Grow. And decide you want to enjoy your your mate. You want to enjoy your life every day. What's up, buddy? Yeah. And to do that, huh? No.
No, go to the table.
And to do that, you want to make the right decisions for now. You know what I mean? I ain't arguing and fussing and cussing and carrying on.
Right.
Because arguing and fussing and cussing and carrying on means you don't have control over your emotions. It means you are still a little girl or a little boy.
You will get to a point where you just make the decision, like, it's not even worth it.
Arguing, fussing,
It's not
cussing,
worth
and
it.
all that
Yeah.
is a true sign of sick, weak immaturity.
And selfish.
That's good, sweetie.
And selfish.
Yeah. And come on, I mean, you got to be a whole grown woman now, a whole grown man now. And then the other thing about the selfishness comes when you're violating the marriage by being abusive or by cheating or by just doing stupid stuff. I mean, like you don't need that much attention, so you don't have to uh, um, do thirst trap stuff on social media because you waiting for that one like, that one person to like it. Mature out of some of that stuff. You have to make that you're with, whether you're married or not, and enjoy what that brings. And if they're not giving you what you need, then communicate that in a way where they can understand and let them decide if they're going to give that to you. And if they still don't give you that, then be okay with, hey, I can live without that because I'm committed to the relationship and I just may not get that. You got to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
What you about to say?
It's so bad. You can tell when somebody's single. They post are totally different from when they were in a
Post
relationship.
thirst trap stuff.
Male and female.
I said it to little man came downstairs looking like he was scared to eat.
Don't be putting that foolishness out there. I'm happy for you to eat. You know we doing our business, right? Look how you looking like, what is that?
Don't involve him in this, baby. Don't feed him to uh, uh, the devil called Cedric. All right, y'all share this. Listen, uh, again, if you do want to get on our books, on our calendar,
we do virtual
for counseling, let us know. The spots are always filling up quickly, so you got to make sure that you get in on, and don't play with it. Don't do it as a fad. Don't do it because you think you want to come hang out with us. Oh, I can't. I love to come hang out with them because that's not what it's about. It's about getting down to business, getting down to work, doing some excavation of your soul so that you can be better for your relationship.
No, we're not gonna hang out. We just gonna have time.
What Joe says. Joe says marriage is a marathon. Yep. It's a marathon. You get tired sometimes. You want to quit sometimes. You may even stop to rest. But what matters is that you get back in the race and finish the race. That's good, Joe. Cedric says it's right because Megan Good is single again. Praise God, she's back.
What are you praising God for?
I don't know. It don't make.
I mean, he with Jasmine.
It don't make sense why you praising God because she already committed to me.
Megan?
I mean, let's move on.
We're in the kitchen. Don't talk to me. You gonna stop strong on me.
All right. Carissa says, I want to hear y'all talk about mental illness and marriage. Mental illness in marriage or mental illness and marriage? What are you saying, Carissa? Um, that would be good. So she says she want to hear us talk about mental illness and marriage. So just give me some clarification about that, Carissa. We can possibly talk about. Okay, mental illness in marriage. That's an interesting subject matter. What would be your take on that, or yeah, what would you want us to address? Because it's broad. Help me out, Carissa. All right, Sarah said she had to reschedule your Friday meeting, and she'll follow up with you on Sunday. She'll be with me on Friday and Saturday. It's just to get your money to come back to me. I mean, to whoever she's going to. All right, a lot of black people don't like to go to therapy.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying spouses dealing with their spouse or people dealing with their companion having a mental illness and refusing to go to counseling and getting help?
Spouse struggling with mental illnesses. Okay, so a spouse struggling with mental illnesses, whether they have been diagnosed or not diagnosed, whether they've been to therapy about their mental illness or not. A spouse struggling with mental illness. Okay, I think we can talk about it. A spouse struggling with mental illness. That's a real thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah. All right, so that's a good one, Carissa. Thank you for sharing that with us. We will be sure to talk about that. We may talk about it next week, which means you have to be on, Carissa, and you have to be on time. The hell, you gonna give us a topic and you don't come on? Nah, Carissa, I appreciate it. That was good. I think that gives us something to talk about. All right, dope. Okay, I'm done. We don't kiss no more.
Yes, we do.
All right, buddy.
What'd you say? All right, what?
All right, buddy.
We got each other looking at you.
Oh, you kissing like that because they looking?
Oh, you gonna kiss like that because they looking?
Hey! Why we hugging like this? Don't hug me, girl. Ah!
My uncle on here.
Okay. All right. She said remind. All right, bye, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Share this. Share this. Share, 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 share.